What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Terrence, YouTube's news reporter. And if this is your first time on my channel, make sure to like and subscribe button to become part of the family. Now, let's talk about episode 15 of All American. Relatively pretty quick, man. It was all about connecting, bonding, and just building trust. So you had Frosto and Spencer. They had to squash their beef, so they were bonding and connecting. Then you had Principal Carter and Coach Baker. They were surprisingly bonding. Then you had Olivia and Laura and the new girl Carrie, who I really don't trust. Then you had Grace and Laura hanging out. I don't know about that one either. That was shocking too. So let's start with Frosto and Spencer. So when it came to them two, obviously we knew when Spencer came back, Frosto was the first person that come at Spencer's neck, right? So Frosto has never liked Spencer. He felt like Spencer's a sellout. So this whole episode was geared on them two bonding and just kind of trusting one another and squashing the beef. So in this episode, their idea of bonding was playing pool together. So Jordan and Asher, trying to force them to bond together, they challenged them in pool, and it made it worth their while by betting money for each game. So they lost several times, and Frosto felt like, Spencer was in on it with the Beverly Hills boys, and he was getting hustled. And so he stormed out, and Spencer was like, yo, listen, bro, that's not what it's about. Then Jordan and Asher kind of broke it down to him and was like, listen, bro, that was you when you came here. Like, you were that hothead, person with a chip on your shoulder. So they really spoke something to Spencer, they kind of dropped that knowledge on Spencer. Then Spencer realized, he was like, oh, shoot, I was wrong. Him and Frosto squashed the beef, they talked, and then they bonded. Then from there, we already knew what was going to happen. They was going to beat Asher and Jordan in pool. Then to take it even further, they went outside and played some trust game. Now, I've never seen any such thing where they put a cup on top of your head and they had to throw the football and hit the cup off the top of your head. Now, I don't know who came up with this game. Spencer, I think he just made that up. I've never seen a day in my life. But Asher did not trust Jordan, and Jordan's a quarterback, but he didn't trust him because he had a concussion recently. So, kind of Spencer got in his head and was like, listen, if I was you, I wouldn't let Jordan throw that ball. But anyways, I'm getting off a tangent. That whole, game was about trust. And Spencer wanted to show Frosto that, hey, bro, I trust you. You're my guy. Bro, let's do this thing. So right then and there, they won that too. And basically he won over Frosto, and Frosto was like, bro, you didn't even move a flinch. Like, you didn't flinch, you didn't do anything. And Spencer was like, just because I trust you, bro. So I was glad to see them two finally squash that beef. I can't wait to see them on the field again. I know next episode it's kind of more about a party and stuff like that. I don't really care about that, man. I just want to see, Crenshaw get to the field. I want to see what happens. I feel like, foreshadowing, I feel like it's going to be Crenshaw versus Beverly in the state championship. That's just what I think is going to happen. You know how the show does. It's really just foreshadows a lot of stuff. But nevertheless, man, let's move on to Grace and Laura. Who would have thought them two hanging out? Obviously, she kind of, I guess you want to put it that way, she kind of ruined her and Billy's marriage, because Billy cheated with her. So who would have thought that, Laura would have reached out to Grace to hang out? Crazy thing. I just knew this wasn't going to turn out well, but it actually did. They got drunk, they became friends. They were out there scoping men out the bar with the other girl's mom, the girl who's a kicker that likes Coach Baker. I don't know her name. I cannot think of her name, but they was out there swiping guys left or right. Well, try to help that lady find her man. But yeah, man. Grace and Laura, they are friends now. Mark my words. Watch. They're going to become best friends before the season is over. I don't know how that happened in one particular episode, but I guess, alcohol does a lot. When alcohol's in the picture, man, alcohol changes a lot of things. So, hey, Grace and Laura are now friends. Who would have thought? And then moving on to Olivia and Layla and Carrie. Now, Carrie, there's something about Carrie, man. I don't know what she's trying to do. I don't know if she's trying to set up Layla or what. Because, when she got to Layla's house, she was texting somebody in one of these episodes. And it was very sketchy. And her phone kept blowing up. And I kind of felt like, this is just my thought. And you guys know I'm always on some conspiracy theory. I feel like, since Layla told her all her deep dark secrets, I felt like that Carrie set her up to get robbed. That's just what I think. Something crazy gonna happen. Like, Layla told her way too much. Granted, it was a therapy place and they're supposed to share, but something's off with Carrie, man. I just don't know. And I feel like Olivia senses that. But anyways, it was supposed to have been Layla and Olivia night. You know, they're supposed to come over, bond, squash things, you know, just kind of become close friends again, get back to where they were. And then all of a sudden, Layla brings Carrie, and Carrie's just throwing shots all night long at Olivia. And Layla's just like, yo, what are you doing? Like, I told you that in secrecy. And then, you know, when Olivia pulled Layla to the side, when Olivia pulled Carrie to the side, you know, Carrie was still throwing shots. It was like, you're the reason why, you know, Olivia's the way she is, and etc., etc. And she just had that look on her face like, I'm going to X you out the picture. I'm going to get you out the way or something. She had that evil look. And then she left and went home. And something about Carrie just don't sit right, bro. I don't know. I can't pinpoint it, but I'm telling y'all, I think she's setting up Layla to get robbed or something's crazy going to happen, man. I feel like Olivia is going to come in and save the day. So we're going to continue to watch that one. And then finally, man, to save the best for last, who would have thought Principal Carter and Coach Baker become friends? These guys out here drinking, lifting weights, singing and playing the piano together. And then Principal Carter sneaked my man, Coach Baker, dropped him to the ground. And then all of a sudden, they're still cool. They're kicking it, laughing, talking about, you know, Coach Baker's mom and how she influenced him to become a principal and teaching. And then Coach Baker helped out Principal Carter to get Grace. Who would have thought, bro? This whole episode was just like, I don't want to say mind-blowing because I say that every episode, but like, this episode was different. It was shocking. That's a good word we use this time. It was shocking to see everyone get along in all these groups. Weird groups at that, you know, groups that you never would have thought in the beginning of the season would ever become friends. Like Grace and Laura out there drinking and becoming friends. Principal Carter and Coach Baker. I mean, Frosto and, you know, Spencer, I can see that one. But yeah, man, I was just like, what? I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's good to see everybody bonding, man. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. It's just good to see everyone bonding. And yeah, man, you know, I feel like things are turning around at Crenshaw. So it's good to see. It's good to see. But that is it, guys. I didn't have too much to talk about this episode. I mean, obviously, didn't too much happen besides everyone bonding, different groups become friendships now. And then, yeah, I just didn't see a lot of this coming, man. I really didn't. But if you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Also, hop in the comment box, man. What are your thoughts on all these new relationships? All these new friendships. Do you think they're going to last? Are you cool with it? Or do you think, you know, it's kind of awkward? I don't know, man. But just hop in the comment box and let me know your thoughts. Until next week, guys, I'm going to catch y'all later.